All right, well, we'll start. Okay, so some good things are happening. Um, just to kind of give everybody a rundown. Um, well, first of all, I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm sure you're hon. You're doing well today. That's good. Um, but one of the things we talked about last week was I was wanting to start a YouTube page for our training and also for us collectively together that we could post to kind of boost our exposure. I just want to let everybody know that that stuff has been done. So we officially now have two of them. We have the Rakers Home Group. You can see that on the screen. And we have the Rakers Home Group training, where everything's going to be on that we have these lessons with. Everything's going to be there. And I'll show you guys. You've all been invited to it. Let's see if I can get the studio here. I always forget this, how to do it. Oh, I forgot where it's at. But you should see an invite. Do you know, hon, if you've seen the invite for that in your email?
I did. I didn't know what it was, so I haven't opened it yet, but I did get like 3 of them.
All right, there should be two. Don't worry. I know the three of them. Don't worry about it. Just look for the admin invite to the actual channel, which is the Rakers Home Group training. That's a private group for us to get in there and view it. And then also the actual Rakers Home Group one. You are an admin on that, so you should be just fine. There's YouTube Studio right in front of me. All right, so right now this channel, it has 4 training sessions already in there. You guys should have access to see all those. And every week, whenever we get done doing the training, I'll post that onto the YouTube channel. That way you guys can go back and reference it. All right. So some fun things. So promise you I'd get that done. So that's happening. Some other news is I've been working with David Heron this week on a few things that we're going to be changing up in KV Core, which is now Bold Trail. I'll let you guys know more of that once I get it all squared away. Right now, it's still kind of in the working for us. So we'll work on getting that right away. And the more information is to come, I'll let you guys know about that. But it's going to be really good. As a matter of fact, there's probably going to be a boost of leads getting put into there. And then I also spent some money and got us some AI generated leads that's going to boost to our websites. So that should take an effect in the next 30 or 60 days. I'm starting training on that next week. And that should generate anywhere between 30 to 50 leads throughout the entire group that are going to come in. So I'm working on that. And then I'm also looking at doing a monthly subscription to something else that's going to get us anywhere between 40 and 80 leads. So there's a lot of lead generation coming our way that's going to hit, and they're all going to go into Bold Trail. So make sure we're staying on top of the CRM and hitting every new lead that we get, whether we call them or touch them through text message. I want to make sure that we're doing that because we're going to start seeing some of that stuff kind of come through. Not all of them are going to be great. It's the law of averages when it comes to that, but at least we're going to be forcing some traffic through that on top of what we're doing organically. I don't know if anybody has seen what Aurora did with her video. She kind of mimicked MTV Cribs and started the RHG Cribs.
I saw that. That was cute. I like that. It was funny.
Have fun with it. I encourage her to, post it to our YouTube channel. If we do that, and then we can share it through the social media platform as well. All the videos that I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to be sending them straight into YouTube. I'm going to blast it on Facebook. That way we start getting some kind of traffic. So for those of you that are not using or not wanting to do videos at the moment, or still kind of working themselves into that, this is where the work of others is going to help piggyback off everybody else. And that's where the team's going to benefit you. So we're going to start seeing hits and views and everything else. And if we're all together on that, for example, I can post a video, and when I post a video, it's going to force everybody to the channel, and it's going to increase exposure based on how many hits and views and likes and shares that we get. I'll post that to my not only the YouTube channel for our group, but I'll post it to all my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything, and it'll bring them back to the YouTube channel to start generating that history. And then if you guys do it too, what it's going to do is all our content's going to be seen, because one person may be doing more than the other, but at least all our content's going to be looked at. That way, instead of us having to like and share and love and share each and every one of everybody's, Facebook posts, we can do it this way a little differently. It's going to increase exposure with us as a group, but it's still going to benefit you individually. Because if you can do a post, and then when you post like a video or something on YouTube, at the bottom, you can actually have a link right to your website. So if somebody likes it, you can tell them to click subscribe and like, and also click on my website for more information. Down in the comment section, you can talk about that. They do that, it goes straight to your website. And so to speak, maybe you wouldn't have got that customer or that potential lead if you were just posting on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, versus they probably came on for somebody else's video, and then they kept scrolling through our channel and found your one or your video that you made, and then want to go ahead and continue to click. So it increases the law of averages of people to click and actually reach your website. So just us doing outreach as much as we can, and me trying to figure out a way how to jumpstart everybody's exposure and organic lead generation. So I'm really glad that I finally took the time to do that. I'm happy that that had happened. But now we have it available, so everybody should have those invites in your box. If you do not, let me know individually, and I'll make sure that we get it back to you guys, and I'll make sure that you're up and going with that. Kind of a recap follow-up from last week, we had talked about commissions and what we're going to do in August when the MLS is going to be removing said commission information. There's some controversial information and some talks going on about how it's going to happen. There's some MLSs in Florida and the country that are not willing to comply to what the NAR is doing. So what they're going to be end up doing is they're doing something different, where they're making it where it says concessions on the bottom, so it's not transparent. What I would do in the meantime, until all this stuff gets hashed out, because there's a lot of unknowns at the moment, and what I want to give everybody kind of peace of mind on, and I want everybody to focus on, is when you make the phone call to the listing agent, ask them what they're going to do, what they're willing to compensate for the buyer agent. Once you get that information, then say, hey, could you respond to the email that I'm going to send you? You send an email, get the response from them. An email is good as a written contract because it's written down on paper. Text message, phone call, it's not going to do it. So to cover your guys' behind and CYA yourself at the moment, make sure you send an email to the listing agent asking what the compensation is going to be. I did ask David when we talked, and I told him, hey, I've been checking with a lot of other listing agents in our area. What is your thoughts on these people not allowing compensation to buying agents? He said the same thing that I thought. 98% of them are going to go business as usual. I think there's just a lot of changes that everybody's dealing with, and everybody's afraid to change. So everybody's thinking of the worst nightmare right now. And they're like, oh my God, how are we going to get paid? What are we going to do? We're going to make less than 5% now, or less than 2.5% aside. And, we're getting our paychecks cut, and we're not going to make any money doing this. Guys, sift through the garbage. At the end of the day, it's a conversation. It's on the buying side and on the selling side. It's a conversation that I've always had since I've been doing real estate. And I'll tell you, it's probably not going to change. Everything's going to be just the same. It's just people just overblowing everything, just like everything else in this world. And if we stay the course, take care of what we need to take care of, and focus on what we do and build value for ourselves, we're not going to see a problem. I know oh, hello. She mute. Now you mute yourself, Aurora. No worries.
Eric, Eric, I'm gonna join the call in a little bit, but let me call you back and then I'll be on it. I gotta drive home.
Okay, drive home. I'm already started.
All right, I'll join the call in a little bit. Bye.
See ya. All right, sorry where I was at. Whoops, hold on just a second. I apologize. I got 3 girls in the house now and 2 dogs that don't mix when they're playing. So anyhow, so don't worry about the commissions. I think make sure that you get an email communication from the listing agent. If you're the listing agent, make sure that anybody that you talk to, you share an email with them, let them know what they're going to be getting. Transparency and relationships between all agents is super important. And it's a big thing. It develops a good reputation, one for yourself and for our team. And I like to have everybody, be held in the highest standard when we're dealing with other professionals in our business. It goes a very long way, guys, because don't try to burn any bridges unless it's absolutely necessary, because this is a small profession and you will run into that said person once or twice in your career. I almost guarantee it. If not, they know other people that know you, and it's better that you have a good reputation, because perception is reality in our business. It's reality wherever we go. So just make sure that we do business with that's ethical and with respect, and we're all good. All right. So just to follow up on that, but the other thing is, David sent out something, and I will text you guys and let you guys know where to go on Facebook. David's trying to share this with everybody. It's called, if you want to look this up as a Facebook group, you can. It's called North Florida Real Estate Commissions and Bonuses. Let me pull that up on Facebook real quick. That way you guys get a good idea what it looks like. Let's see here, North Florida Real Estate Commissions. Okay. All right, this is the page. I can go ahead and invite you guys if you're not already members of this, but this is where we're going to be posting a few other things. It looks like this guy posted a listing, and this one posted a listing. That's not really what this page is going to be designed for, because David's going to invite other real estate professionals that's not within our brokerage to come in here. That way we can all discuss that when we have new listings that hit the market, what we're willing to be paying buying agents. That way it's kind of a one place to go look and see, because you actually can search by, you come in here and you actually can search the address or the listing and see if it's on there. That way you don't have to check. That way you know what it's going to be, and then go from there. Guys, I still would think having a conversation with the listing agent, if you are putting a contract in, is a really, really, really good thing. So if you could do that, communicate, never assume is probably the best way to go every time you're dealing with this. It'll alleviate the worry for yourself. That way you don't feel like you're doing something for free. It'll alleviate the buyer that signed an agreement with you. So there's just a lot of things that's just gonna help you if you're communicating with the other side, and you're also communicating with your clients, and you'll be more confident about what you're doing. So like I said, if you're not on live access to this, again, it's North Florida Real Estate Commissions. It's something that David and Christy started, and they're going to reach out to the entire real estate community in Northeast Florida. So please, look that up, become a member of that. That way you got it. They're going to try to use that. But in the meantime, we're doing little things like this, calling listing agents and having them email us, or we email them and they respond to that. That way it's on paper. That way we know what we're getting. And we can go business as usual. Okay. So hopefully that'll make everybody feel a little bit better about what's happening here in the next month or two. Obviously, again, you guys know that as of June 30th, we're losing all the NEFAR documents from that side, and we're going to the Florida documents as a whole in general for the state. I know, Hun, you're not set up in Dotloop yet, but you will be shortly. Again, guys, this is an easy thing. It's very simple. They are located all right here, Florida Interactive Docs right here. This is the buyer's reputation agreement right here. I'm going to make sure that I put that in the Rakers Home Group Master Docs. If you don't have it, you want to save it, you can save as a PDF on your computer. But I'll make sure that I put it in here in the Master Docs, and I'm going to.
I never got that from you the other day.
You never got that?
Mm-mm.
Did you check your email that has a Dotloop thing that I sent to you?
You never sent me an email for the Dotloop. You were just gonna send me the PDF version so I could just look at it.
Gotcha. I will send that to you right now because you should have gotten it already. All right. I know I just had it up. Because we literally just talked about that. Okay, hold on just a second here.
I was waiting for it and I didn't see it, so.
Well, I was assuming that I sent it the way I did, but I can do that right now.
Thank you.
No problem. While we're talking about Dotloop, there's something that I'm doing for everybody, and we ran into a little bit of a situation where the proofreading didn't happen the way we need to on a document. And, you know, part of, hi, Joanne, how are you? I see Eve's on the call too, which is good. There, hon. Should be on your way now. But Dotloop is a place where we got to put all our stuff in. And as you get the contracts and everything going, and in the ones that don't have it, I will make sure that you do have it, and we should be good. And then this is where you go and put every single document that's involved with this transaction, whether you're part of the buying side or the selling side. You put everything there, you communicate through there. Once it's in Dotloop, I do have access to it. I can help you guys if you guys are busy doing your other job and need documents sent over to another client. I'm going to do it as a representation of you. Whenever I log in, and I can actually click on each and every one of you, everybody on the team. When I do that, it's not signing for you, and it's not doing anything of the sort. I'm just kind of like the coordinator in between to help you guys get stuff where it needs to go. The buyers or sellers still will sign the document, but then it's also going to text you that where you log in and you sign the document as well. But it just allows me to get it to your client for you as soon as possible if you guys are busy. But once this section's done, we also have to communicate that to our brokerage, and the communication program that we use for that obviously is Transaction Coordinator, which is, I'm sorry, Lone Wolf. And that's where if you hire a transaction coordinator, they're going to be going in here. They're going to be putting this into this way and setting everything up. Obviously, it integrates to Dotloop. It's pretty straightforward and easy. But it's something that I'm actually going to take the reins on for you guys. And as long as you guys put it in Dotloop, I'm going to come in here once we get everything started, and then I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over to the back agent for you guys and make sure everything's going smooth, because that allows me to double check everybody's documents to make sure everything's signed right, make sure everything's listed correctly. Obviously, if you guys have questions, you're probably going to get me involved during the document thing, which I'm going to be able to proofread and help you do it the right way. But I'm still going to force myself to go in and check everything and check all the boxes, make sure everything's correct, and kind of help streamline things along. And at the same time, if your clients need stuff sent to them as your lender sends you stuff, you email it, put it in Dotloop, and I can send it right over. So basically what I'm going to be turning into is everybody on the team's transaction coordinator. And I'm going to be checking everybody's deals daily. That way we've got everything right and tight. We're good with everything. And then all you guys got to worry about doing is handling your main points during the transaction. And that is inspection time, appraisal time, and closing time. So whatever I can do to help you guys out, that's going to be the biggest thing for me. And I hope it's a good thing for you. So that hopefully is a good thing for the team. So again, YouTube channels are the big things I promised I was going to get done. We've got exciting things coming up with lead generation and how I'm utilizing the team's money for that. I've got that other thing coming up with Bold Trail with David. Again, once we get more going on with that, I'll share with you how that's going to try to kind of happen, because it's kind of still in the working. And then obviously the other version of our transaction coordinators, I'm going to kind of take the reins on that, so you guys can, one, save money. You don't have to hire a transaction coordinator, because they vary anywhere between $250 to $400 depending on which person that you're using. If you do hire a transaction coordinator, I'll be able to go ahead and take the reins on that for you guys, and you don't have to pay anything else additional. So just something I want to do, that way I can make sure it's good, and whenever we communicate it to the brokerage, everything's right and tight. We don't have to worry about it. Buyer brokers agreements. Let's go back and touch base on that again real quick, because that is something that we all discussed last week, and I kind of went through it a little bit, but I want to touch base on one thing for you guys. One thing that I noticed that's different as far as the wording goes is line 8 and 9. If you can see this, instead of it going what it usually does, where it goes month, date, year, this is day, month, year. Make sure that we put it in properly, because if we don't and we send it off thinking everything's good, first of all, anytime that you run into a problem with this situation where the customer wants to cancel with you guys, the first thing they're going to say is that they only thought, one, it was either for the property they were looking at, or they had no idea that they signed it. Okay. So make sure that you have a good communication and a good discussion with your buyers when you have them sign this. They are going to fight you on it if it does come time where they feel like they're doing what they're going to do. I'll give you guys an example here in a minute, because I was allowed to talk about this as one of people on our team that ran into a situation. But if there's anything else that's actually wrong in the contract, if it's not stated, people will figure out a way, or the other real estate agent and brokerage that they went to will try to find a loophole within this situation that they can say that it is no good and a voided contract and you're out. Okay. So right now, I'll tell you right now, this one right here that I just had my buyers or my sellers sign, because they're going to be buying from me, this is a voided contract right out of the gate. And I'll tell you why. And I did this on purpose. It's single agent broker. We're a transaction broker. I'm not a single agent broker. I'm a transaction agent. So this one right here is in void, because I'm not representing myself properly. So it won't go through at all. And that is an arguable offense. And this is a voided contract. And if they left to go to another agent because I wasn't taking care of them properly, or if they just decided to get on realtor.com and they wanted to see another property and they didn't want to use me, they just decided to use somebody else because they have no loyalty to you as a real estate agent, this one can be broken because it's voided, because it's a single agent agreement, not a transaction broker agreement. I already had my client sign another one, but I'm just pulling this up because I want to use an example for that. The other situation was the reason why I brought up line 8 and 9, because we fall ourselves victim to habit. And anytime that we put in a date on any other piece of the contract, on actually any other contract, is day, it goes month, day, and year. This one is labeled differently. This one is day, month, and year. We had one of our agents on our team that had a customer that ghosted her, and then finds out from another person in the business that she was working with that another agent contacted her and let her know that, hey, this client is the one I'm taking care of. And she wrote a contract on another home. It happened to be the home that our agent on our team suggested to this client to go show. So we had a buyer's agreement with it. We were all right and tight. And I called the agent at the other brokerage, and I got to talking with her, and she's like, hey, did you take a look at the date on the contract? There's something wrong. I said, well, let me take a look at it and I'll let you know. Come to find out, that agent wrote 6th day and 10 of 24. So instead of it taking effect on June 10th, it actually took an effect on October 6th, which hasn't happened yet. So we have no grounds to stand on. So that client is now with that other agent and getting that deal. So that's how important line 8 and 9 are, and everything else that we fill out here. Okay. As you can see on line 14, I put Northeast Florida and surrounding areas. This got brought up during the NAR big meeting that was 4.5 hours long, talking about buyer brokers agreements and all the new changes. And you can have more than one buyer or broker agreement with a client and multiple agents. And the way that is defined is if you don't service an area, for example, if you don't have an MLS that you're a member of, and this is how I define it. It's not exactly how you define it, but this is how I do it. If I purchased an MLS, more than likely I'm servicing that area. I'm spending the money every year to get access to these specific areas. I'm servicing them because I've got clients in those areas. I'm doing that for a reason, because when I sign a buyer's brokers agreement with somebody and they don't like Jacksonville, but they like Ocala, I've got the MLS in that area. So guess what? I service that area. They can't go use another agent and another agent fight me on it, because one, I purchased my MLS dues just like they did in that area. And two, on line 14, I state Northeast Florida and all surrounding areas. I'm also going to put in quotations basically the entire state of Florida. That is not admissible in court. It will hold up, and it is a valid contract. So if you guys notice that, if you just have NEFAR as your MLS, nothing wrong with that. 99% of the people that you're going to be having a conversation with and talking to is going to be out of NEFAR. Okay. Because that's your guys' really your area that you're working in. Aurora may have another situation because she deals with a lot of people down in Stellar and a few other surrounding ones. Now, I know that our MLS is going to be picking up some other MLSs in the area. It really depends on what you would consider your market, your area. So that's why I just go ahead and define it, because it's such a gray area. You guys can do right the state of Florida if you want. I like to be a little bit more detailed than where I want to be at. But the reason why I'm bringing this up again is because a client can have a contract with us happen here in Northeast Florida, and then they can also have one down in Miami with another agent, because that agent services that area. So if you don't service that area and let your client know that you do service those areas, they can have multiple buyer agreements at simultaneously with 2 different agents, as long as it doesn't interfere with each market. Okay. But have the conversation with your client. Let them know that, hey guys, I service the entire state of Florida. You let me know what you need. I will go anywhere and get you taken care of. I'm very versed on what all these markets are. And I pride myself knowing, and I take all the time in the world to make sure I know these areas. So please, I'm a professional for you. Let me take care of you. That should, for most likely, anytime there's something they want to see or property they want to see, they're going to reach out to you and give you that option. If you can't make it down there or go anywhere, guys, call me. Call me. What I'm going to do is I'll figure out a way to get down there. I'll go show the house and represent you guys and support your customer, and I'll get it done. I don't care if I got to drive to Key West. I believe in that. If you think about more than likely what that deal is going to get you, especially if you have a lot of clients you're taking care of and you got a lot of friends that are out of state. As a matter of fact, I got one right now that lived in Aurora, Illinois, was my dad's best friend. It's a 55 older community, and he's buying a new place down in Ocala. All right. I've been talking with him for about 4 or 5 months. And we're in the process of closing on that right now. I don't know the area, but I tell him I take care of all of Florida. I'll get him taken care of. I've already been down there once or twice, got with the representative down there. They're communicating with me. Since he's still up in Illinois, I'm still going over there and getting it taken care of. So, an hour and a half, 2 hour drive to make, probably $25,000, it's worth it. It's worth it to you guys if you go down, in those areas that people want to buy a vacation home or trying to relocate. And, a lot of those places down south of us, they're hitting guys between $400,000 and $800,000. I'll drive that far for you. Just because, one, it's going to get you guys a good paycheck, and two, it's something that's going to help the team. The more we do, the more we grow. The more confidence you guys have with the more deals you close, the better you're going to be. And I know right now this time is tough, and some people are kicking it. Some people are giving the perceptions that they're kicking it. But I'll tell you, I have access that I can actually see how everybody's doing in our brokerage and all the surrounding areas. And from what a lot of people are talking about, it's not as cracked up as everybody says and how great everybody says that they're doing. So just be mindful. Do be mindful. I'm going to tell you that, comparison will destroy confidence in anybody. Doesn't matter what you are. So if you're on Facebook looking at everybody going under contract and closing on deals and doing all this stuff, everybody's situation is different. People put different types of efforts into other things. People have other people that help them do certain things. You may have a husband that's a general contractor and runs a custom home business, and every home that he builds and buys, the wife is an agent of some sort and gets every single deal. That's just one example. There's other ones that have a lot of friends that are investors, and all that goes right to that guy's wife or that couple. They get all those. They get all that stuff handed to them. It's a relationship, and it's one of those 1% relationships that you deal with. So don't compare yourself to everybody, because if you do, or that one person that's doing really well, there's probably something that's different. Now, if you get somebody that you talk to and you develop a relationship that has kicked the can down the road and is doing the due diligence that they need to do and is grinding and working it, those are the people you want to talk to and learn how they do things. I know I'm 3 years into this, and I haven't bought leads. I haven't been to Zillow and purchased the leads. I haven't done anything through realtor.com. But yet in my 3 years, I've sold 67 homes. Actually, no, not now. I'm over 70 now. So I could have been more. Absolutely, it could have been more. But I will tell you this. The way I built the business is I started slow and steady, and I built it. It takes time. And the first 3 years of your business is the most critical. And as you build and develop relationships and do the hard work and do the things, and what I mean by hard work is, the social media organic posts I'm talking about, making sure you're keeping yourself in front of people, having conversations everywhere you go. I think all of us at one point in time has had a business meeting with me, a business review in the beginning. We talked about what your business model looks like, what we need to do, and the 3 to 5 things that we need to do every day. The reason why I talk to you guys about that, and you may not hear it other places, is because that's how I built my business. I didn't listen to everybody else. Now, not only this is how I built my real estate business, but this is how I built my business when I was in the auto industry. And I don't know if you guys know my background in the auto industry. Retired per basically of 25 years from that. And I ran the sales side at one point in time, but I was on the fixed operations side that handled parts and service departments. And I ran service departments where I'd sell service work. And I was on the parts side where I ran a large wholesale business. I worked for the oldest and largest Ford dealership in Jacksonville. And I created a multi-million-dollar a month parts business, dealing with selling parts outside of the dealership. And I did that not by sitting at a desk and making phone calls. I did that by going out, having conversations with people, letting them know of our services, letting know the value they have by becoming one of our customers and the things we do. And all I did was take that model and I put it right into the real estate end, because now whenever I do the business before where I was doing multi-million-dollar deals and keeping things going, I was paying the guy that owned it with his name on it. Now, guess what? My name's on this. I'm the owner, I'm the operator, I'm everything. So why would I work just as hard as I did here and work just as hard at my business? So I continued that mindset. I worked just as hard at it. I had more on the line and I grinded it out. And you know, this year has been a little bit of a different focus for me and trying to help the team and get everybody going. But at the same time, I'm still figuring out ways to get it done. And I want you guys to have that confidence. But the things I'm telling you isn't to shortcut anything, because that's the last thing I do. Because I was always told in my life, whenever you're trying to build something that's going to be great, there's two ways to do it. There's the right way to do it, and there's the easy way to do it. If you take this short, quick, easy path, guys, it won't last very long. I promise you it won't. But if you do things the right way and you stick to it, you may not be winning every single day. But if you stay consistent, you do the right things that you need to do every day, guess what's going to happen? Before you know it, you're going to be on top. Before you know it, you're going to be sitting around wanting to go to vacations, do your things that you got to do. And you're going to be getting phone calls in the middle of vacation. Hey, when you get a chance, my family and I want to sell our house. Well, the listings are going to start coming. Or, hey, my best friend's looking for a house. I'm going to give you the number and they're going to give you a call. And they call you because you've developed relationships. You guys developed and built value in what you do, and people know that you're a professional in the business. You want that. You're letting people know that the first call that they need to make is you. There's 22,000 agents in our area, and 2% of them are full-time. Okay. Out of all those people that you're dealing with, there's plenty of business for each and every one of you guys. Okay. All I'm trying to figure out a way to do as I'm building this team is how we're going to see more people and get in front of more faces consistently together as a group. That way we individually build our businesses a lot faster than if it was just you alone and nobody else. That's my goal. I want this to be, you know, one of those things where we're all I want us to be together. I want us to be, you know, something that we're building together as a group, that we're winning together as a team, but yet building our individual businesses. And I'm all about it. And, you know, I want us to win. I want us to be successful. So I will do everything I can for you guys. I want you guys to do everything you can for yourselves. And I can't stress that enough. I can give you guys the CRM. I can give you guys all the leads in the world. But if you don't take the time to take action on that stuff, it's going to be just as good as me typing something out on a computer and emailing it to you and you're never checking it. Okay. Take the time, use the tools that's around you. If you don't know, if you're uncertain, call me. I'm going to answer the phone and we're going to go through it. Am I going to judge you? Absolutely not. I'm not going to judge you. Whether you use it or not, it's solely up to you. But it's my commitment to the team and my responsibility to you guys. I'm going to give you guys every tool and every resource that you can to be successful as fast as you can. But I don't want you to go too fast, because I want you guys to steadily build your business. That way it's rock solid. That way in a situation in a low market like this, you're not worried about where the next deal is coming from. Okay. You're slowly making it through. You're grinding through. You're doing the right things. You're winning. If you stay consistent with it, you're not going to have a problem. You know, last year, somebody told me that was the worst year they ever had. Well, guess what? Not for me. It was the best year I ever had. The reason why it was the best year I ever had is because I stayed true to what I did the year before, and I kept up and I never stopped. I kept going and kept going, kept going, kept going. You know, when I first got into real estate, there was over 12,673 properties on the MLS. Does anybody know how many properties are on the MLS as of today? Have we got past 9,200 yet? No? Well, let's look. The reason why I'm saying this is because after I got into real estate, it took about 4 months. 4 months in real estate. And that went from 12,643 went to 1,952 properties available. Okay. And what that means is, remember that 22,000 agents in our area and only 2% are working? That's 2,200 agents. At that time, there wasn't a whole lot of properties. There wasn't enough for every single agent to sell one house in 1 month. That was horrible. That was when all those multiple offer stuff was happening, which I missed the boat on that, by the way. That was multiple offers, everything going on. Then it got quiet, and then there seriously was no properties to buy. And if the ones that were on the market were crap. But I tell you what, guys, that was one of my best years. Now we've got 9,300. That's the most I've seen all year long. We have 9,381 properties in the Northeast Florida MLS. That's just alone. That's just right now. That's residential homes in our area that's currently for sale that we can go and show a customer and purchase. All right. Everybody's looking at it. Everybody knows what's going on. There's plenty of properties to sell. The reason why we're not selling right now is because people are waiting for two things: affordability, interest rate. We need to figure out ways to talk to them about how we can get that, alleviate that obstacle. Okay. There's going to be some tools that I purchased that I'm going to be providing you guys here real soon about how to alleviate obstacles when you have conversations with clients. But first of all, let me ask you, is everybody having consistent conversations with clients? It's okay to be honest. I mean, yes or no, if you are or not, that's fine. But you got to have a conversation first before you can find out what their objection or obstacle is. Us as salespeople, because ultimately that's what we are. We're sales professionals. All right. Our job is to sell homes. And we need to find what drives each customer. And we do that by having conversations, developing relationships. You'll find out what their wants and needs are. You'll find out what they don't like, what they don't want, what's keeping them from going the extra mile to get the house and pulling the trigger right now. Because ultimately, that's what we want to do. You know, think about your ideal client and your ideal situation whenever you're selling a house. And what is it that you want to do? Well, to me, it would be get the client, say hi, how you doing, show them a couple houses. We're writing a contract. We're going under contract. Then we go through the process and clear to close. I mean, obviously, I love it if it was a cash deal and it was only a 14-day close, you know, and good. That'd be awesome. Perfect scenario, right? Well, not everything's going to be a perfect scenario. There's a reality of it. However, you can work in your favor by taking control of every conversation. And you take control by every conversations by asking questions. And those questions that you need to ask, one is stuff that you learn as you become a salesperson. Two is somehow you become just yourself. Have a conversation, just like talking to everybody else. Have a zero fear of loss and having that conversation with somebody. All right. General conversation will bring out to you. One of the great people that I know right now that is doing that and doing a very good job of that is Kyle. All right. He likes having open houses. Kyle is himself. And he brings those things out on the table and makes customers feel comfortable about talking about their objections. Not everybody's going to be Kyle. Not everybody's going to be me. Not everybody's going to be Hun, Joanna, Aurora, or Eve. Okay. But you guys have your niches and you need to bring those out. You need to bring those out. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because out of the 22,000 agents that we have here in Northeast Florida, there is only one of you. All right. So you are already bringing something to the table that nobody else is. And you got to believe in that. And you got to have the confidence for that. When you have those two things working for you, and then the only thing that you're missing is experience and knowledge. Well, one, I'm sure everybody heard that whole thing, fake it till you make it. Well, guess what? You can do that. The reason why you can do that, because you got me. All right. You can tell them, you know what? That's, for example, they ask you a question and you want to blurt out right now, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. All right. Well, don't say it. Say this. You know what? That's an absolutely great question. I tell you what, let me find out for you on that information and get you the exact answer. And then we will round back up with that. Okay, great. But in the meantime, tell me about this, or let me ask you a question about this, or why are you asking about that? You may not even have to answer that question. You could find out from a different reason why it is what it is. For example, let me give you an example here, because this may come up. And I think I talked about this example before. So you have a customer that you're dealing with. Hey, I want to list my house, but I don't want to pay the buying agent because I just don't want to pay the buying agent. Okay, great. Well, you can say, yeah, sure, great. I'll go ahead and list the house for you with just my commission, and then we'll go from there. But let me ask you, that's not the way you say it. You don't do it that way. You need to ask them, hey, let me ask you a question. Are you trying to save, $15,000 to $20,000 right now? Or would you rather have me make you an additional $15,000 and $20,000? Because ultimately, the reason why they're telling you that they don't want to pay the buying agent commission is because they're trying to save money. All right. But if you turn it around on them by asking a question and say, okay, great, but let me ask you this. If you're trying to save $15,000 to $20,000 at the beginning part of the transaction, what if I told you that I could probably make you $15,000 to $20,000 more if we did pay this commission? And let me explain why. And then you jump in to talk about, hey, well, guys, guess what? My fee is 5% or 6%, however you want to say it, and say, hey, we're going to be marketing to all these other customers that are clients of other agents, so to speak, buying agents. And my job is to sell your house as fast as I can and for the most money. And for us to do that, we want to market to these clients of other buying agents. And if we don't, we're going to be selling ourselves short. 2, you're probably selling the house for less because there's not going to be a whole lot of people that doesn't have an agent and they want to call me. I want to give this the best shot that I can. So this is how I'd like to do it. This is my fee. This is what I'm charging. And if you let me do it right, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be marketing to all these other clients that mostly you wouldn't do if you were only paying the seller's commission or the listing agent commission. I am actually going to be marketing this place so I can bring in these other buying agents to help us sell this house for the most money. Is this something that you'd be willing to do? And if they say, yeah, say, great, good. Well, within that 5% that you've already agreed to pay me, I'm going to be giving up half of that and paying the buying agent. So you're not spending any additional money. Does that sound fair? More than likely, it's not really a conversation. So you guys will probably have to deal with that customer that's having that scenario and bringing that situation up. If one, they've been paying attention to the news or having another real estate friend, you more than likely won't have to deal with it. All right. Does everybody have any questions right now? And does everybody kind of get what I'm talking about? I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but hi, Kyle. But it's almost up in an hour right now, and I'll do a small recap. But does anybody have any questions, any thoughts, anything they want to bring up to the group tonight? Does anybody want to say hi?
Oh, I have open houses if you guys want to bring me some buyers.
There we go. Joanna, I know you brought up the fact that you've got one open house on Sunday that you'd like somebody to sit in. Are you going to be sitting in that? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, no. Kyle,
Oh, yeah. Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got your listing coming up on the market probably next weekend, right?
Hopefully Friday, next Friday.
Okay, good. All right, and you'll be doing an open house there. I'm going to spend the early part of this week and tomorrow a little bit making phone calls to some people. I want to sit in Springfield. I want to try to get 2 open houses scheduled for next weekend. And the reason why I definitely want to do it next weekend is because, one, Kyle's been down there almost every single weekend, and I don't want to lose the momentum that he's gained down there. So by at least having the Rakers home group continue to be represented down there, I want to make sure that he doesn't lose momentum for himself and being down there. And if I talk to some clients that has dealt with him, I'm going to make sure he gets those leads. But if anybody else wants to sit down in there with me, I'm going to try to get 2 homes down there for Saturday and Sunday and try to make it a good turnout. Kyle, you've had great turnout the last 2 weeks that you've done it. And you're killing it, man. And I appreciate it. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. I used to use an example earlier tonight. So you haven't been on the phone. But a quick recap, since we got more people, if you guys go back and listen to the first part of it, some good things that are coming our way. I promised you all that I would be making YouTube channels. So I made a YouTube channel for the training, so it won't be just emailed to you anymore to have to go to a Google Drive. You'll be able to log into this Rakers Home Group training channel. It's a private channel just for us. All the videos and all the training will be on that YouTube channel. From the very first one I've done, this is number 5. So you guys can go and hit that every time. You all should have seen an invite in your email. The second one is a YouTube channel for the Rakers Home Group. This is where you guys can post videos that you do of home tours or any of your marketing. Post it there. The reason why I'm talking about posting it there, it's probably going to do more for you than it is going to hurt you. And the reason why I say this is because if you've got somebody like Aurora that is kicking butt and doing 3 or 4 videos a day, if she's doing it and just posting on her Facebook, you guys aren't getting the benefit from it, because not everybody on the team is going to love and share it and this and that. Now, however, if you've posted a few videos and you put it on the YouTube channel, but Aurora is still kicking it, and let's say I'm doing videos too, the exposure that you're getting from Aurora posting and getting likes and shares and follows and subscribers, the same with mine, you're going to see more attraction to hit yours, because if they click on your video as well, and then you're individually marketing yourself in the description to click the link for them to go to your website, guess what? You've just picked a lead off another member of our team. And now they're looking as a simple, right now it's the Rakers Home Group, but when they click on you and go straight to your website, guess who they have? They've got Joanna from the Rakers Home Group or Kyle from the Rakers Home Group. Now you guys can focus in on your center yourself, and now you got a lead you probably would have never had in the first place. So I'm trying to figure out a way to boost our exposure, because we can take those videos and we can blast them into the social medias with links. Okay. And when you blast them, because you guys click on them all the time, but when you do that, it increases the exposure for all of us. So I would like to figure out a way that if I'm doing it, and even if I'm trying to promote myself, that it's still going to promote the team. Because it's going to benefit you guys individually somehow, some way. And that's how I look at it. Everybody's going to have obviously their own opinion about it and how they want to do it. But I will tell you, it takes a village to move a mountain. Okay. And having a village that is going to be supporting on each other, we are going to go so much further, so much faster than everybody else is going to, because we're going to be rock solid and lockstep. That's ultimately the way it's going to be. And there's a lot of benefit to that. A lot of people have failed trying to do this team. I'm not up for the failure of that. I feel like perseverance and hard work will overcome all. And I believe in this. I believe in what we're doing, and I believe what it's going to achieve for all of us. So that's why I wanted to start that YouTube page for us as advertisement, and then we can push forward on it. Too, we'll have YouTube training now, so all I got to do is go right into that. You guys should be allowed, and it was set up as viewers for that. The next thing is I'm working on the CRM a little bit differently to help with leads and a few other things with working with David on that. Again, I'll get more information for you as that comes along. I purchased an AI generator to generate organic lead generation through all 5 social media platforms to drive traffic to our websites. And it's not just the Rakers Home Group website. It's everybody that's listed on our team. It's going to cycle through them. And they told me anywhere between 30 to 60 leads a month we should see in going into our websites. So that should kick off here in the next 30 to 60 days. I'm starting training on that next week, and hopefully we'll get that going. But it's going to be one of those self-generating, boosting, or organic lead generation things that I'm paying for. And it was a year long, and it was not cheap. So I wanted to do that. And then I'm also working on 2 other lead generation things for us as well. One of them is going to generate between 40 and 80 leads a month to our websites. So again, you guys are going to start seeing this stuff hit your CRM. Use it. Plan it out. If anybody wants training on the CRM, I actually went through the CRM with Hun the other day and realized I had not really shown you guys how to handle the tasks and what to do, because she asked me, what do I do? When do I call? How do I talk to them? Guys, the CRM tells you it all. It tells you when to call, how to call, what to do. It'll give you your next action, course of action you need to do. Send an email, send a text, send a listing, change the campaign, get something going. There's a reason why this stuff is put in there, because it's shown success, not just a couple of times, through every agent that's used it and through a lot of things. So there's a higher success rate if you follow that and use it. And it's very simple. You just go and do. And when you do that, you can spend an hour doing that, 2 hours doing that, however you want to. You can go the extra mile and do a few things. But if for everybody that's full-time on my team, spend 2 hours on your CRM, spend 2 hours on your lead gen and marketing, and the rest should be follow up with clients you've got touched with, text messages, so to speak, doing showings, setting up listing appointments, anything that's going to be doing what you're doing as far as real estate goes. Okay. All right. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. I don't have anything else this week. I do know that 4th of July is next Thursday. So I say we take a week off from the training for the week. I've got a lot of stuff coming up that I'm doing, and I want to make sure that I got some more content. However, I will be available every day, evening or morning, for anybody that needs help with anything. Please reach out to me. Give me a call. Let's schedule something up. Let's make something happen. All right. Oh, one more thing. I don't know if everybody heard this when I did it. So when everybody's using dotloop, how they're using it, when we communicate to the transactions to Lone Wolf, I'm going to be kind of your built-in transaction coordinator, and I'll show everybody how to do that. And then I gotten everything set up through Amber at the office that everybody on the team I will have access to on the backside and Lone Wolf, to make sure I can put all the documents in there to be easier on you guys, so you don't have to worry about it. Then all we got to worry about is getting paid at closing, instead of worrying about getting this document, this document, this document. I'll be able to communicate through you and to your clients, them knowing that it's you. You'll know every time that I talk to them, to make sure that we're getting all the stuff that we need to close the transaction, so you guys aren't scrambling around 3 or 4 days before closing, getting everything done and being stressed out about it. Because my goal is to hopefully say that you guys got multiple offers going on or multiple contracts going on, and then you don't have to juggle all that. I know how difficult that can be without a transaction coordinator. I had 8 going on at one time last year. It was tough. And not knowing what up and down was, but I did have to touch it every day. So I am perfectly incapable of being able to touch this, do my business as well, and help you guys out. So go out and get them, and we'll make sure everything's right and tight, so you guys get paid at the table. All right. But that's it for me, guys. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Trust me, you guys are doing fantastic. You need help with anything, I'm just a phone call or text away. All right. So have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend, and I will talk to everybody soon. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, then.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Hey, Eric,
Hey, what's up?
are you hanging up? Are you stopped the recording?
I'm